Hello friends, welcome to my channel Study Goals. If you haven't subscribed my channel, then subscribe my channel and press the bell icon. In the above session, we start the temperature measurement correlated topics, which is in the industrial measurement part 1. Today, let's start with one new technique or a method to measure a temperature, that is RTD, resistance temperature detector. RTD, the full form of RTD is resistance temperature detector. It is an electronic device which is used to measure the resistance of any electrical wire, through which we can determine or have an accurate idea about the temperature value. So we can say that this wire is also called as a temperature sensor. Here we have to measure only the temperature value and directly, which would get by changing value of resistance. The other electronic device further used, that is thermistor or a thermocouple. So let's start with the construction of RTD. RTD elements are generally made up of long spring-like wire which is covered by an insulator and enclosed in a metal sheath. The insulator which is used here, that is porcelain, which covers the platinum wire to protect it from short circuit, which happens made due to mismatch of metal sheet and platinum wire. So to prevent from this condition, here we put the porcelain insulator in between the platinum wire and the metal sheet. Here the metal sheet that is made up of an alloy, which is a mixture of nickel, iron and chromium metals. It has a high tendency to protect the wire from any corrosion permanently. So we can say that this Inconel metal sheet prevents the wire from corrosive damages to device. Thus it has inherent corrosion resistance properties. So you can see the figure of RTD that shows the first platinum wire that is shown as a spring type, which covers or surrounded by a porcelain insulator which prevents from short circuit. Then it enclosed by Inconel metal sheet which has capability of permanent corrosion resistance and has a high tendency to reach up the temperature to platinum wire when it dipped in some medium to measure temperature. So the change in temperature of platinum wire will form heat or cool to RTD device, which resulting into change in resistance. So through this value we calibrated to give the accurate readings of temperature. So we can say if the resistance increases, then the temperature increases. If the resistance decreases, then the temperature also decreases. The relation of resistance and the temperature is of directly proportional. Now, as you can see the graph of RTD, which represents some objectives of the RTD. The relation of graph is electrical resistance versus electrical temperature, which is linearly uniform. Also, the resistance is directly proportional to the temperature. So, if the resistance of RTD element increases, then the temperature of RTD element increases. Similarly, vice versa. However, for manufacturing the RTD element, few metals are used such as nickel, copper, platinum, which has such an properties to make it. Properties such as first, metal should be pure. Second, it should have a uniform linear characteristic. Third, it has to be stable within the given range of temperature. Fourth, able to give a reproducible resistance temperature readings, means if whenever we take the readings of resistance temperature which is of a same measurement every time, but we get the different results due to change in conditions such as operator, location, object surrounding, etc. RTD somewhat acts like a electrical transducer which converts changes in temperature to voltage signals by measurement of resistance. The question arises that why the RTD has a linear characteristic. The answer is because it has a high coefficient of resistance which has a capability to repeat the temperature cycle. As you know, the coefficient of resistance means the change in resistance per degree change in the temperature. Next one is the application of RTD. As you can see on the screen that RTD sensor is used in automotive to measure the engine temperature, and oil level sensor, intake air temperature sensor. RTD is used in power electronics, computer consumer electronics, food handling and processing, industrial electronics, medical electronics, military and aerospace. But nowadays it is not used much more due to having other techniques in market or industry such as thermocouple, thermistor or thermopile, etc. But commonly RTD used in some work or as a household purpose such as coffee machine, cell phones, fire detectors, etc.